Good afternoon, everybody. This class we are going to discuss about the email security. So in email security, we have two concepts. One is the particular privacy and the MIMI extension or secure MIMI. So in this class, we are going to discuss about the particular privacy email security algorithm. So need for email security. So email is considered to be a common mode of communication for individuals and also for institutions. So there are security threats are also posed for email at various counts, and in 2013 it was found that the United States National Security Agency had spied upon different countries, and this was leaked by means of the WikiLeaks, and the persons involved are Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks, and the spy person is nothing but it is going to be the Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden surveillance revelations. It was also, so this is nothing but it is going to be the Edward Snowden who acted as the whistleblower, and he revealed a lot of theories, and he released the documents and proofs for that, which had major repercussions, and the world had awakened for the email security. So email security enhancements, here we have confidentiality, authentication, message integrity, and non-repudiation of origin. So the protection of the content is the confidentiality, and the sender of the message is to be approved. One is the authentication and the message integrity. So here message is protected from the modification as the message integrity, and protection from denial is nothing, denial by the sender is the non-repudiation of the origin. So all these things are this email security, and this PGP was designed to provide all four aspects of the security: privacy, integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation for email. So PGP uses a digital signature, a combination of the hashing and public key encryption to provide integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation. It uses a combination of secret key encryption and public key encryption to provide the privacy. So mostly the algorithms would be either using the symmetric algorithms or the asymmetric key algorithms, but here it is using a combination of these two, symmetric and asymmetric. So a lot of complications are there. The digital signature uses one hash function, one secret key, and two private public key pairs. So it uses the all possible algorithms being discussed earlier, and the PGP is an open source and freely available software package for email security, and it is more suited for personal communication rather than industrial application. So when you go for the MIMI or secure MIMI, it is more for industrial applications than for personal communication. So that is the difference between these two. And the functionalities, it provides the authentication through the use of the digital signature, it provides the confidentiality through the use of the symmetric block encryption, and it provides compression by using the zip algorithm, and email compatibility using the Radix 64 encoding scheme. So how it provides the authentication. So sender creates the message, and the SHA-1 is used to generate a 160-bit hash code of the message. So hashing of the message has been done. This hashing is being encrypted. This hash message digest has been encrypted using the RSA using sender's private key, and the result is attached to the message, and the receiver uses the RSA or TSS with the sender's public key to decrypt and recover the hash code. Receiver generates a new hash code for the message and compares with the decrypted hash code, and if there is any match, then the message is accepted as authentic. So PGP operation on the confidentiality, and here it can use different kinds of algorithms for different threats. Okay, so if it needs to avert the confidentiality, then it could use these algorithms, and these procedures would be done. So sender generates the message, and random 128-bit number to be used as a session key for this message, and the message has been encrypted using the cast 128 IDEA 3DES with session key, and the session key is encrypted using RSA with the recipient's public key, and then it is attached to the message, and receiver uses the RSA with its private key to decrypt and recover the session key. The session key is used to decrypt the message. So by this way the confidentiality can also be ensured. And the PGP on confidentiality and authentication uses both services on the same message, create the signature and attach to the message, encrypt both message and signature, attach RSA encrypted session key. So it provides the confidentiality and the authentication, both the things combined together. So PGP operation and the compression. So here it compresses the message after signing but before encrypting. So it can store uncompressed message and signature for later verification, and because compression is non-deterministic, it uses the zip compression algorithm. And email compatibility, when using PGP it will be having binary data to send. However, email was designed only for text, so hence PGP must encode raw binary data into printable ASCII characters. It uses Radix 64 algorithm that maps 3 bytes to 4 printable characters, and it also appends a cyclic redundancy code for error detection. And PGP also segments the messages if it is too big. So segmentation is also there. So what happens? So this is the block diagram. So this is the block diagram for the sender side. So you have the email. The email has been applied the hash algorithm, and the message digest has been created, and the message digest has been encrypted using the user's or the sender's private key. So the signed digest has been added along with this email, and it has been sent. So it has been, so here a session key has been created and it has been used to encrypt this one, and the session key is being encrypted using the receiver's public key. So only the receiver's private key can use this one for decryption, and it can get the session key, and only by means of the session key it can be decrypted. So by that way it will be encrypted and sent. So this is the algorithm. So here we can have the SHA-1 algorithm can be used for hashing, and for the encryption it uses the RSA. So for A's private key we also need to have the A's public key to be for decryption at the other end, and for B's public key we need to have a B's private key is also be needed at the other end. So we are in need of 2 private public key pairs and 1 session key. This is the symmetric key that is being needed, and 1 hash algorithm is also being needed. So all these things combined together, we can use all possible combinations of the algorithm. So any algorithm can be used, but the thing is that the other party also needs to know which one has been used, so that it will be compatible with the one another. So that's been given in detail. So the email message is hashed using hashing function to create the digest, and the digest is then encrypted to form a signed digest by using the sender's private key, and then the signed digest is added to the original email message, and the original message and the signed digest are encrypted by using a one-time secret key created by the sender. The secret key is also been encrypted by using receiver's public key. Both the encrypted secret key and the encrypted combination of the message and digest are sent together. So at the receiver side, what happens? So the receiver receives the encrypted secret key plus message and digest. All these things is there. So first it needs to decrypt the session key. So the session key has been encrypted using the B's public key. So it has its own private key that is used for decrypting the session key, and by means of the session key the encrypted message plus digest would be decrypted, and then you would be getting the message plus encrypted hash value. This encrypted hash value is nothing but it has been encrypted by means of a sender's private key, so it has to be decrypted by using A's public key, and then finally you will be getting the digest. But for comparing purpose, the email also to be subjected to hash function, and the digest has to be created and it has to be compared with the received digest value. If everything goes fine, then we find that it is flawless. So advantages. So it uses the open source software and it is widely used in de facto secure email, and it is selected uh, best available cryptography algorithms for use. So it uses all possible combinations. So it can use digital signatures, or it can use the RSA algorithm, it can use the SHA-1, and it can use the triple test. So any algorithm that is suited for that can be used, and a cryptographic suite is also been available, which one to be used, and it has to be communicated to the receiver. So it is integrated into a single program, and it is available on Unix, PC, Macintosh, and Amiga systems, and originally free. Now it has also having commercial versions also. But the disadvantage is the administration is difficult, because there are different versions of PGP are there, which complicate the administration, and the compatibility issues. Both the sender and the receiver must have compatible versions of the PGP, and if you are encrypting an email by using PGP with one of the encryption technique, the receiver has a different version of PGP which cannot read the data. And complexity, PGP is a complex technique. Other security schemes use symmetric encryption that uses one key, or asymmetric encryption that uses two different keys. PGP uses a hybrid approach that implements symmetric encryption with the two keys, and PGP is more complex and it is less familiar than the traditional symmetric or asymmetric methods. And the passwords are nothing but, if it has been lost, then it is also leading to the loss of the information, loss of the files, lost messages. So there is problems in the case of the PGP, but the advantages of PGP outweigh the disadvantages, so it is more prominently being used. Okay. So in the next class we will be discussing the secure memory.